do 7, I apologize. The best I can do is 10. Chris is here to talk to us about utilizing tools and technology. I think I've done that too. Let me just highlight that very quickly. Part of my consolidation has been an auto timing of all the slides and how far apart they are and when they come in. Based on that, again, we've consolidated the 2-hour presentation into just about 10 minutes with accurate timing of each slide and discussion points. The actual class would not have these auto flow points. They would be controlled by the presenter. Every single bullet point tends to generate Q&As at each session. You can find the actual presentations on SharePoint. Feel free to use them, contact me for any questions you might have, so on and so forth. Handouts. I've got some handouts this morning that are projected. You're going to see what this means in a little bit, but for the sake of my presentation, just please understand that these things are going to be projected on the screen instead of actual handouts. So just know that too for the actual class. Also, there's a pre-stem presentation where someone needs to kind of go through Taleo access, resetting your password, etc. That's actually done with a participant in the class driving the presentation for that portion of it. So keep that in mind as well. And one of the things that I want to work on is maintaining a balance between our needs and our sensitivity for time constraints on the part of our customer. This class, if I could do it ideally, I'd like to have participants build their own QCI at the end, share with one another, have it be an open forum for discussion, team building, critiquing. Unfortunately, I haven't found the time to do that yet. But ideally, I would love to. Can we start, please?
Are you good?
Yes. Can we back up to a fresh slide, please? Thank you. And it flows all by itself, so you're good. Okay, so title, QCI Basics, as I already introduced. It flows automatically.
There we go.
Okay, objectives for the course are as follows. We're going to do Taleo tutorial demos, location for reference. We're going to do initial access, regaining access to Taleo, huge obstacle for our customers, consistently. Resetting passwords on Taleo. That's become a big deal as well with the QCI process. QCI quality assurance checklist we're going to review and work from. Instructions for an effective QCI as well. And finally, we're going to build a sample QCI for a part-time staff member, which is the piece I can't ever get to, unfortunately, but I would love to. Next. Okay, tutorial demos are located at pcfcareers.com. I suggest that participants in this class review 3 tutorials. Login demo, e-signing, an electronic review or QCI, and completing my self-assessment. Those are awesomely done by Eric and Chris Hugh. They're a great tool. They come in very handy. I refer people to those on a daily basis just about. Next slide, please. I thought the slides themselves too went automatically, but okay. Access to Taleo. Initial access to Taleo. First thing we review. Regaining access. Lots of people tend to lose their password, don't forget it, forget how to use it, etc. Resetting passwords. And HR support. What role do we play? How can we support our business partners in this endeavor? Demonstration, walkthrough with live application is something the course would typically encompass if this were the real course. Reset password feature. Again, HR support, who is available to help them? Most importantly, us, the local HR rep. And all the things we can do for our business customers with the QCI process. Next slide, please. Setting the stage. As you all know, talk about gauging the audience, we're all HR experts in this room. So we all know the QCI is a tool for coaching. So I purposely connected this to our coaching effort overall. Setting the stage. You want to connect, build quality relationships. We want our managers to assign and delegate regularly, consistently. After that, they need to observe and gather data. They want to continuously work through the learning loop. Ongoing feedback and dialogue. Prepare to coach. Get ready. Get your ducks in a row. What are you going to coach about and how? Provide that feedback once your ducks are in order. Engage in dialogue, ask questions, and then listen. Something I need to work on. Shut my mouth and listen. Oops, and we're done. No? Forwarding the action. We want to reinforce positives first and foremost. I always coach managers to start with the positive and then delicately lean into the negatives or approach for improvement. Suggest possibilities, obtain action, commitment, and offer support. Ongoing support. Next slide, please. Setting the stage, continue. The connection process. Trust is the currency of leadership, as we all know in this room. The what? Develop and maintain a quality relationship for coaching. How do we do that? Get to know each other as people, as colleagues, as supervisor and employee. Clarify and establish mutual expectations and roles. Develop a common understanding of coaching. Discuss specific goals and objectives that will be the focus of the QCI and coaching communications as well. When? Specific and ongoing opportunities. Day one, the onboarding process, huge piece of this. Well begun is half done. Ongoing training, one of my personal favorites. Ongoing training for our folks. Daily interaction. Every single day we've got the opportunity to do the when. What's the payoff? Why bother? Should we do all this? Better performance and engagement on behalf of our employees. Reduced employee relations and attendance issues, as I'm sure you all know. Reduced risk of workers' compensation issues. And our favorite one, lower turnover. We want hires to be a good hire the first time, stick, be happy, work for us forever, or as close as possible. Next slide, please. Forwarding the action, continue. Plan to make it better. I love this term, continuous improvement. I think we should all be in continuous improvement mode every day. How can we make things better every day? Reinforce positives. Don't let areas for improvement negate valuable contributions. Start with the positives, then lean into the others. Par for coaches that people know what and how they're doing and why it makes a difference. Acknowledge positive results. Explore possibilities as well. Through dialogue, offer suggestions, approaches to make desired improvements. Suggestions are not directives, but ideas, options, alternatives, and possibilities to be considered. Share your personal experience, what you've been through, how you've grown, what you've learned. That is very impactful. Next slide. And again, I thought these were already timed. I apologize. Lost in translation, maybe. Ask for commitment and offer support. These are what our managers should be doing with their staff. Support the changes and commitments they create, not the ones forced upon them, by asking some of the following questions. What are our next steps here? What do you think we should be doing? What do you see as options, Mr. and Miss Employee? How should we solve this? Not me, not just you, we together, we're a team. How should we move forward from here? And there's one more, I believe. There it comes. How can I support you in this endeavor? Be clear on what steps will be taken or what changes to behavior performance are needed and by when. Always establish a timeline. Offer support and encouragement. You want the person to succeed and not to relieve them of their responsibility. Big difference there. Next slide, please. Forwarding the action. Leadership. At the end of the day, performance doesn't improve in spite of ongoing coaching. Partner with human resources to take the appropriate disciplinary actions. Clearly and unmistakably restate the change that is required. Explicitly state the consequences of not meeting the requirement. Last straw after the QCA coaching process would become this partnership with human resources. Next slide, please. Sample of our form for the QCI that's used in the class. Again, connects back to the learning loop, links QCIs all together. What happens in between the QCIs makes a world of difference. This is where we observe, gather, report, measure, work to improve. QCIs are a running commentary on your performance as a coach. I love that because, as our managers should already know, part of their role is to develop their staff. So coaching is a big part of that. How well that's done has got to be a measurement of that person's ability as a manager, whether they recognize it or not. It really is. Next slide, please. Practical application. taking the QCI to the next level. Review the past QCI document, measure progress, improvement. From a quality assurance perspective, we are going to follow guidelines to assure the best product. Think about your role as a coach, what that means, how to work through it. How did the person do? How did you do in the past quarter? That's the discussion for the following quarter. And always work to make it better. Again, continuous improvement. I love that term. For the next QCI, we want to focus on working with the coach to build development portion of the QCI for one of your direct reports. So we identify something, assign the coach, and then hopefully watch that progress grow. Next.
We're done, man.
Yeah, that's what time
The
it's up.
applause came.
Okay.
You got
Thank you.
Thank you.
Excellent.